From gift wrapping to Christmas trees, family gatherings and beyond, what started as a religious holiday has now become so commercialized it has lost its originality. Christmas used to be celebrated solely to remember the birth of Jesus Christ, but today it has been marked on numerous companies' calendars as a period to maximize profits. Every year, the amount of money spent by households on Christmas products multiplies. This sum exceeds $1 trillion in the USA. It's sad that the business of Christmas has completely overtaken the occasion itself. So, how did one of the most significant periods of the year become so overly saturated by consumerism? Let's run back the clock to see how it all started, shall we? The year was 1920 and Coca Cola was the big talk of the town. If you didn't have a Coke at least once a week back then, you weren't in the game. The drink was doing remarkably well in sales, and in a bid to capture more customers, Coca Cola decided to run advertisements featuring Santa Claus. Nobody knew it at the time, but this would turn out to be the starting point of the commercialization of Christmas. So how did the public take it? Remarkably well. The most popular drink partnering with children's favorite Santa Claus? It was a hit, and by 1931, Santa was already making appearances in popular magazines for Coca-Cola ads. The influence of Coca-Cola in some well-executed holiday marketing changed Santa Claus from the spooky-looking fella to the jovial, loving man we all know today. And what about our dear Rudolph? This little guy wasn't born under a tree in the forest. Oh no, our dear Rudolph was born at Montgomery Ward's. Yes, that's right. He's another example of genius marketing, timed just right. Rudolph was born in a massive marketing campaign in 1939 in a book written by a company advertising copywriter by the name of Robert L. May. The purpose? To drum up newspaper coverage. The book Rudolph the Red Reindeer was authored by May and was then given away for free. To understand how massive the campaign was, more than 2 million copies were distributed. Back in 1939, at a time when 50,000 was considered huge. Over time, various terms were introduced to help in the commercialization process, and in the 1960s the term Black Friday came along. The term was actually in reference to the day that a business's profits moved out of the red and into the black. Black Friday. Ka-ching! It stemmed from the tradition of department store parades, sponsored around Thanksgiving, that were meant to kick off the holiday shopping season and push consumers in the stores. In Philadelphia, it became customary for officers to refer to the post-Thanksgiving days as Black Friday and Black Saturday. One of the reasons days like Black Friday and Christmas as a whole have become so commercially concentrated is because, compared to many other religious festivals, it has a fixed day on the calendar, and this allows companies to plan their annual production and develop routines and supply chains to meet a fairly reliable demand. And it works. A major national retail chain made 40% of its annual profit between Thanksgiving and Christmas. As well as being the most important day of the Christian calendar, it has also become the most important day on the financial calendar. Look at Christmas cards. It's one of the best examples of commercialization, and it's now a multi-million-dollar industry. According to Forbes, retailers in America expect to make 1/4 their yearly profits from Christmas sales. It has become a huge event, and each year markets are trying to cash in on the holiday earlier and earlier in the infamous Christmas creep. It's gained traction across the globe as well, simply due to how lucrative it has become, even in countries where Christianity is not particularly famous. In Japan, for example, the country is often flooded with Christmas decorations even though the Christmas period isn't a holiday there. Some non-Christian countries have also increased Christmas marketing, which resulted in the ban of Christmas celebrations due to concerns that it is too Western. There are so many ways Christmas has been commercialized. Wrapping paper, shopping mall Santas, Christmas trees, Christmas decorations, Christmas foods, and others. Imagine you were a child born in Philadelphia in the 1800s, and you saw a life-size model of a Santa Claus in a store while walking by. Chances are you'll drag your parents into the store just to see it up close. And what happens when more people walk into a store? Increase in sales. Once store owners saw the effect this had on sales, they capitalized on it and offered opportunities to see a real live Santa. R.H. Macy of Macy's in New York City was one of the first department store owners to construct special holiday presentations. He was the first to feature an in-store Santa for children to visit in 1862, and it wasn't long before the Salvation Army began the practice of sending Santas into the streets of New York City solicit donations to pay for holiday meals for the needy. It was simple. People love Santa, and businesses utilize this. Something else people love are Christmas trees. Every year, more and more families decide to buy a Christmas tree. This trend is evident in the U.S. as the number of trees sold rises up to several million each year. It's a booming industry, and various ideas have been used to increase sales. One of those ideas is renting of trees for the Christmas season. While it is the norm to buy Christmas trees, some companies rent trees to reduce their waste and gain a considerable profit. Most trees that are bought just end up in the trash immediately after the end of the holiday season, but rented ones come back to the forest after the end of an agreement. Moreover, there's not much price difference between bought and rented trees, only when it comes to the size and type of the tree. But overall, it would be wrong to assume the commercialization of Christmas has been a success. Trust us, it hasn't. One unintended consequence of Christmas gift giving is the sudden spike in unwanted gifts. People have subjective ideas on the value of things. What I might cherish so much, you might see as trash. As a result, it's usually around Christmas that stores see a lot of returned items, as people try to reclaim money back on unwanted gifts they received. It's been revealed that 10% of Christmas gifts respondents return their gifts to the store. Mind-blowing. So what happens when I can't give gifts? Then the social pressure comes in. Not everybody can afford the most expensive of gifts, and it's totally okay. The social pressure to buy gifts often leads to increased borrowing and credit card loans, leading to credit bubbles. There is also the issue of the drop in productivity. As the holidays approach, workers become distracted and work less. 60% of workers admitted to finding it hard to stay motivated at work the closer it got to the holidays, with some saying this feeling started as early as November. During the holiday time, many employees will take time off to spend with family or just to enjoy the holiday, thereby cutting into productivity as well. Christmas started off as a sacred celebration to remember the birth of Jesus Christ, but today, it has been saturated with so much consumerism that we often forget the main purpose of the celebration. So the next time you're celebrating Christmas, remember it's not about the food, or the nice clothes, or the decorations. It's about Jesus Christ. Or supposed to be. Merry Christmas.